With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery souls. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the world and mysteries known.
So just take a few minutes to settle into a comfortable posture. Make sure your back is straight. And now from this quiet space, we visualize in front of us on a beautiful lotus and moon cushion that is upheld by a golden throne, surrounded by 8 snow lions. On top of that lotus and moon cushion sits none other than our teacher or guru, in the form of Shakyamuni Buddha, 1 face and 2 hands, wearing the 3 robes of a monk, surrounded by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and all our teachers in the 10 directions, looking at each one of us with great love and compassion. So just take a few minutes to feel that presence, that beautiful, loving, compassionate presence. They are looking upon us just like the mother would look upon her only child. And then we visualize seated around us on either side, Bodhicitta field, our kind parents, mother on the left and father on the right. And additionally, we are accompanied by all other dear mother sentient beings, leaving none aside, and we are leading them all in this practice. And then we remind ourselves the purpose of the practice, which is to manifest that Buddha nature that is within us, the ultimate source of happiness, by removing the 2 mental obscurations, the afflictive obscurations, and the culpative obscurations. So we recite the following verses while mentally invoking profound meanings and associated experiences. Page 3. Infused by great compassion, we taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Infused by great compassion, we taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Infused by great compassion,
you told the Immaculate Dharma.
to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage.
Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the hosts of the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, the knower of all which leads the hearers, seeking pacification to complete peace, the knower of paths which causes the Bodhisattvas with altruism to help migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and omniscience, the thorough possession of which helps the Buddhas expound the variety of teachings endowed with complete aspects of subjects.
Okay, this verse I will explain real quick. This is a very important verse, which we just read, page 5. Okay, this verse came from Ayamathiya's text, which in the National Universities they studied for like 7 years. It's not a huge text, it's a condensed text and with so many commentaries. And so what this text is this text is known as Abhisamaya Alankara in Tibetan Mandokin, and in English, Ornament of Clear Realization. Ornament of Clear Realization by Ayamathiya. And this text is more like the Buddha's teachings. Buddha's teachings, we see that particularly the second turn of the Buddha, where the Buddha taught nothing exists truly. So here in this, the whole genre of this teaching, we see that there's the explicit teaching and the implicit teachings. There are two. One which is explicitly the Buddha taught nothing exists truly all the time. And it's just explicitly taught. And implicitly, the Buddha taught all the practices of the Bodhisattvas, how Bodhisattvas should follow the path, how to set in mind, and then they will engage in the path, what kind of practices to be done, and all the detailed, the samadhi practices, extremely sophisticated ones. And then also it's too weak. Is it fine now? Can you hear me? Better? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Doctor? Yes. You respond to me. Can you hear me now? Yes. Better? It's the same as before. Okay, can you hear me now? Ishan? Okay. So, the implicit teachings are all the Ayamathiya summarized them or put them together, compiled them together in this book. In this text, I would say, in this text, which is known as Abhisamaya Alankara, or in English, Ornament of Clear Realization, in Tibetan, Mondokyen. And what you see contained in this one verse is the whole body of the text condensed in this one verse. And the monastic scholars, they studied for 7 years, minimum 7 years. Okay. And so the content matter, we see that it is the praise, this is the salutation or the praise. named to the mental qualities of three beings. We see that there are three beings there, First, Shavakas and Buddhas combined together. Shavakas and
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
for
for
online
online
participants,
participants,
this was not
not
on.
on.
Okay, let
Okay,
me
let me
quickly repeat what I
repeat
said
what I said
before.
before.
This
This
verse which
verse
we're
which
reading
we are reading
now,
now,
which is
which
taken
is
from
taken from
Arimathea's
Arimathea's
text,
text,
Abhisamadhikara, in Tibetan,
Tibetan,
Nondo Ken, in English, one
one
Play
realization.
Realization. And this
And this
contains
contains
all the
all the
implicit
implicit
teachings the
teachings
Buddha
the Buddha
gave
gave
as a part
as
of
a
the
part of the
second
second
turning
turning
Buddha.
Buddha.
Second
Second
turning, where the
turning,
Buddha
where the
taught
Buddha
nothing
taught
exists
nothing exists
truly.
truly.
So
So
emptiness was
emptiness was
taught,
taught,
and
and there are
a whole
whole
series of
series of
teachings
teachings
given,
given,
which pertains to
pertains to
the
the
second turning
second turning
Buddha.
Buddha.
And
And
on the
on the
surface,
surface,
the
the
surface
surface
teaching or
teaching
the explicit teaching of second turning is all about emptiness. And the implicit teachings, they're all about the paths. What are the practices to be done by the bodhisattvas along the path to Buddhahood? The detailed teachings were given. And this particular short text, it is short, it's not as a huge text, but it's very condensed. And this is what the big monastic universities, they studied for like 7-8 years. And what is being studied in these 7-8 years is they condensed in this one verse. And this is the word of salutation by Arimathea to what is known as the three knowers. Three knowers, know and knower, the one who knows, three knowers. And to know this, we need to know three kinds of beings. Three kinds of beings. The first one is those who seek personal liberation. Those who seek personal liberation, Shravakas and Pratik Buddhas combined together. And second one is the Bodhisattvas. And the third, the Buddhas. There are two of them. These are three beings. And three beings have their own aspirations. Three beings, they have their own aspirations. So the Shravakas and Pratik Buddhas who seek personal liberation, they are seeking the complete pacification. Pacification meaning that your mind is pacified and the painful tears stop for yourself. In other words, they seek nirvana, they seek complete pacification, which technically is known as fearlessness or nirvana. This is their goal. And the bodhisattvas, they want to benefit the beings in the course of their journey, gade para samgate. So till that point, they aspire to help others, help the beings, to assist them to go along the path. And find the Buddhas, when they reach the Bodhiswaha, the primary goal is to disseminate the teachings, or to share the wisdom, or to give teachings. And so these are three goals. When you remember three goals, the three beings, and then what aids, what helps them, each of these three beings, how they are being helped, what actually helps these three beings to reach to fulfill their aspired goal. So for example, the mother. So why we call somebody as a mother is because the mother gave birth to you, mother bring you in the planet Earth. So which means that your goal is to come to the planet Earth, and then the mother gives you this birth. So likewise, these three beings, they have three aspirations, and these three aspirations come to reality, brought to reality by the three mothers. It's not a real mother, it's a metaphorical mother. So just as a mother serves to give birth to you, likewise these three mental qualities, known as the three knowers, they help you to fulfill their aspirations. They give birth to what they aspire. So first, Shravakas and Pratik Buddhas, they, with help of the mother known as the knower of all, or Geshe, know all or know the basis. That is the mental quality which helps the Shravakas, the Pratik Buddhas, seek the goal of complete pacification. Then the Bodhisattvas, so the aspiration is to, what is the goal? To help the beings, help the migrators, help the beings. And what helps them to do that is because of the knowledge of the paths. Knowledge of the paths. These are technical terms. Knowledge of the path, Paths. Know the paths. So there's a mother which helps the bodhisattvas to accomplish the goal of benefiting others. Number two. Then the Buddhas, the aspiration is to turn the wheel of Dharma, give teachings. And what helps the Buddhas to give teachings, of course, bodhisattvas also give teachings, bodhisattvas. But the Buddhas, why giving teachings particularly ascribed to the Buddhas is for the reason that the Buddhas, how they give the teachings and how the Bodhisattvas give the teachings is different. Buddhas, how they give the teachings is they give the teachings just in accordance with the predispositions, propensities of the individuals, and will not teach anything which is irrelevant to the audience. Whereas for the Bodhisattvas, they don't know the propensities, all the detailed propensities of the beings. The Bodhisattvas, they don't have this omniscience. Whereas the Buddha have the omniscience, which allows to know exactly what is to be taught to the individuals, to the individuals. So the Buddhas, what help the Buddhas to serve the purpose of the purpose or the aspiration is what is known as the omniscient mind. Omniscient mind is the mother for the Buddhas, metaphorical mother for the Buddhas. Omniscient mind. Omniscient mind serves as a mother to help the Buddhas to give birth to the given teachings. Okay, now what are the three beings? Personal liberation seekers, Bodhisattvas, and the Buddhas. And what are the three goals? For the personal liberation seekers, what is the goal? Complete pacification for oneself, meaning complete nirvana for oneself. And for the Bodhisattvas, what is the goal? To help the migrators, to help the sentient beings. Migrators, sentient beings also referred to as migrators for the reason that the sentient beings, they migrate from one realm to the next realm to the next realm. They migrate, keep moving. There is no samsara. So the Bodhisattvas, their goal is to help the beings, help the migrators. And the Buddhas, what is their aspiration? To turn the wheel of Dharma, to give teachings, the detailed teachings according to the propensity and the predispositions of the beings. And what are the three mothers? Know the all, to help know the all, to help know all, and next one is know the paths, and the next one is omniscience, or the mind of the omniscient mind. Okay, so these are three mothers which help the three beings to accomplish the three goals. Okay, now before we read this together, let me read it, and you just check if you are following what is being written there. I prostrate to the mothers, plural mothers, the three mothers of number the one hearers meaning Shravakas. So personal liberation seekers, there are two beings, two kinds. One is Shravaka, the hearers, in English loosely translated as hearers, and the Pratik Buddhas. So these two, and the hearers is explicitly mentioned there, and Pratik Buddhas are included as a side in the indication. Hearers, number one. Number two, the host of Bodhisattvas, two. And number three, the Buddhas. Now it's clear. The three beings are identified, and the mothers, they are not identified fully there. The next, the knower of the all, the first mother, knower of the all, which is a mother for the hearers or personal liberation seekers, leads the hearers, Shravaka, seeking pacification to complete peace. So now look, the mother of the hearers, what is that? The knower of the all, this is the mother, and the being is the hearers. And the goal is pacification to complete peace. You getting it? So three of them are mentioned there. The next, the knower of the paths, which causes the bodhisattvas with altruism to benefit migrators. What is the goal? to help migrators to achieve the aims of the world. Meaning that they have the beings, they have their own aspirations. Some they want to follow the Shervaka path, some they want to follow the Bodhisattva path, some they want to realize emptiness, some want to realize bodhicitta. So whatever they want, the Bodhisattvas they help them to help them do to attain what they are seeking with the help of the knower of the paths. Then next, the omniscience, the third one. The thorough possession of which helps the Buddhas expound a variety of teachings endowed with the complete aspects of subjects. Okay, how many of you now understood this verse? We all got it? The three beings, the three goals, and the three mothers. Very good. Okay, Venerable, now we can read this.
I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the host of Bodhisattvas and Buddhas, the knower of all which leads the seeking pacification to complete peace, the knower of paths which causes the Bodhisattvas with altruism to help migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and omniscience, the thorough possession of which helps the Buddhas expound a variety of teachings endowed with complete aspects of subjects. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teachers, Sugata and protector, to you and in prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualization and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth a forever noble light rays. To you, the Buddhas, I give prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. The essence of the dependent origination mantra. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Desham Tadagato Evadat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramanaye Swaha.
By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the endless expanse of the billions of beings. The Buddha does not wash away the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries with his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. Instructions on parting from the four attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the bewildered miseries of you. Having generated a mind of supreme enlightenment, I invite all sentient beings as my guests. I will engage in the appealing deeds of the excellence of enlightenment. May I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Page 1515. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the Tathagata, the full destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, Lord of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of laws and human beings to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan. I prostrate and make offerings and go for refuge. When you were supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth. You picked up 7 stripes, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who avoid them, I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, faith that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme sun's face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust-free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the founder having all understanding, the freedom of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy feet qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. I prostrate to the Buddha, the chief of bipeds. I prostrate to the Dharma, the protector. I prostrate to the Sangha, the supreme one. To all 3, I always prostrate with reverence. With extreme devotion do I always prostrate. To all who are worthy of prostrations, to surrendering my bodies, numbering particles that constitute all realms. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star of visual aberration, a flame of light, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the state of omniscience, subdue the 4 falls, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 3131. The Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on Mahasavajra's mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of Bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara. How should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composition factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. No eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. No visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and power. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly, completely awakened to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhi Soha. Saripura, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prajna Buddha-Day Sutra. So now we recite the mantra 7 times. possessing the power of truth. May inner and outer universes be transformed. May they be dispersed, may they be non-existent, may they be sanctified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Next page. 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Vipasana. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I grow into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I had discovered a jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped, or in whom I have placed great hopes, mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all burdens and pains upon others. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim dedication prayer, verse 1. From my 2 collections, vast the space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Page 39. The 7-in practice, excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Shamatha. I bow down to youthful Aryan Rishi, you the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas numberless as particles, each amidst the host of Bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way, with infinite oceans of grace for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice. I sing the breathtaking excellence of the Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sagatas. Beautiful flowers and regal garments, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you with the victorious ones. Fine breaths and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder and heat high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you the victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all the victorious ones. And every harmful action I have done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachments, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift
rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, purest supreme, and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn to the supreme Buddha-Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize perennial nirvana. Please stay with us for eons, numberless atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this to the full awakening of all beings. The Shamatha and Lama offering, we start with the English. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with blonde hair, the four continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of introduced reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mangalakam Niyataya. The next page. The foundation of all good qualities by Lama. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to them is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon Gurus with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as the water. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like the shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this,
Please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Let what is pure heart, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the emotional laws. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all other migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, trained in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vapor. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows in samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges of my life. And having realized the importance of the 2 stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Gurus. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path, and the spiritual friends who practice it for long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradharma. So we recite the meaning of the next 7 words. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-preferential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of forms of demons without exception. So Baba, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, Rosa Prabha, at your feet I make prostration. us with flawless wisdom, as well as Vaishnava destroyer of hordes of demons without exception. So Kalpa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of souls, Lozan Dharma, at your feet, I make prostrations.
Okay, thank you, Mr. So now we will do the Javelin non-frozen yoga, plunging into the Siddha, for which first we will do 5 minutes of Shamatha meditation.
Okay, thank you. Now, our renunciation. So the one that we did is the Shamatha meditation or the single point meditation, and now what we're doing is the analytical meditation, which involves analysis. And this analysis is the one which will help us to bring about transformation in a mind, and the stability meditation will stabilize whatever transformation has taken place will be stabilized by the Shamatha meditation. So renunciation, Dorji, the wisdom emptiness, they all are part of the analytical meditation. First, the renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce the miseries, not to renounce the happiness. To renounce the miseries, the Buddha taught how to renounce the causes of the miseries. Ye dharma hetu prabhava, hetum tesham tathagato hyevatat. And the cause of the miseries, what the cause of the miseries are, is indicated by the Tathagata, which is summarized by Arya Nagarjuna in his text, Mool Madhyama Karika, or the fundamental wisdom of the middle way, where Arya Nagarjuna taught, ceasing of karma's afflictions is nirvana. Karma's afflictions arise from conceptualization of inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance, and the ignorance ceases into the wisdom of emptiness. And to realize, to get to the level of the subtlest, most subtle level of the ignorance, which is self-grasping ignorance, Buddha identified the grosser levels of the ignorance, identification of which, and then eradication of which will lead us eventually to identify the self-grasping ignorance and the eradication of the self-grasping ignorance. So, for that matter, the Buddha taught the four levels of the ignorance. The first, ignorance which misconceives impermanent phenomena as permanent. Ignorance which misconceives miseries as happiness. And the ignorance which misconceives impure things as pure. And finally, ignorance which misconceives what is self as nature as of selfhood. To counteract these four kinds of ignorance, the Buddha taught the first three seals, and the fourth one is in the form of the resultant state of this eradication of the four kinds of ignorance. And oftentimes in the Theravada Buddhism, we find the first three, not the fourth one is not mentioned, and there's no contradiction. Even in the Mahana Sutras also, oftentimes you'll find the mention of the first three seals, and not the fourth, and sometimes all four are there. There's no contradiction. The fourth is just the resultant state. So whether you include the result or no result, you practice the first three lines, which consists of eradicating the four levels of ignorance, the result is bound to be experienced. For the sake of the result, we are doing this practice. So there's no contradiction here. The first, all composite things are impermanent. Composite things connoting what is constituted of directional parts with the material entities, and temporal parts pass in time. So whatever is constituted of these two parts should necessarily be impermanent in nature. And impermanence is of two kinds, gross impermanence and subtle impermanence. It's so important, the Buddha taught that the gross impermanence must be meditated upon, following which the subtle impermanence should be meditated upon. For the gross impermanence, primarily is about the impermanence of death, the certainty of the death, and the uncertainty of the time of the death. This is a major part of the contemplation of the gross impermanence. And we also think of the beautiful days of the past, when you were a very little child, a very tender young age child, with no responsibilities, all responsibilities taken care of by your parents. Very beautiful days. And we enjoy holidays, we enjoy watching sunset, the waves on the oceans, music, and so forth. And what have we done before? They're all gone. Oftentimes, people risk their wealth, power, and so forth. So you have lost a huge amount of money, so forth, in fraud cases. After 20 years, what is this? It's just nothing. There's nothing really. Whether it existed, not existed, it doesn't matter to me now. This impermanence. 200 years back in time, the world was inhibited by the older generations, where the children were there, parents were there, and the children, they had so much of anticipation, expectation, and expectation of the career, goals, and so forth, and so much ambitions. And the parents, likewise, to support the children, they likewise have all this anxiety, stress, and so forth. Now, where are these people? Whether their ambitions are fulfilled or not, they're all gone. Whether fulfilled, not fulfilled, it doesn't matter. They're all gone. It's not that they're unfortunate, and we are the fortunate ones that we're alive today. No, it's a matter of time. 200 years down the line in the future, not even a single person today out of the 8 billion human beings will be alive then. This is a fact. It's just a matter of time. This is the reality, the power of the impermanence. How the impermanence dominates the whole universe. And the beautiful days with the parents, and many of us, the parents are gone. Parents are so loving, caring. We just feel that they're like the rock for us to just lean against, and they are now gone. It's like boarding a train. You board a train. Already there were some people there in the train. They are your parents to take care of you, teach you how the train goes, what kind of things happen in train, and so forth. And then we are together. And then one time, the previous passengers, they alight. They get off the train to say bye-bye to you. And then you are there as now, the one who is familiar in the train. New passengers join you. They are your children. And many other passengers in the other compartments of the train, they also come, go without your awareness. This is what life is. Contemplating this overall picture of life is quite deeply sad. This is what life is. It's for this reason that the Buddha taught, whatever gathers will end in separation. All meetings end in separation. All gatherings, all what is gathered will end getting dispersed. Whatever is accumulated gets exhausted, and whatever is born dies. And you may feel a little low to think of these. Yes, these are the facts. We are just deceived by the perception of things are so permanent. And now we are getting closer to the reality. And reality, with the acknowledgement of the reality, then we can proceed to the Gade Para Samgade Bodhisattva. And all what we call as the sightseeing, the sites where we go for tourism, these sites. What are these? And these are all the reminders of impermanence. The huge, beautiful palaces, now they become museums. Once upon a time, it was not a museum, it's the place where the very powerful people, so-called powerful people, the kings, queens, and so forth, they existed. They were living there. Now they're all gone. However powerful they are, they're all gone. However wealthy they are, they're all gone. and what dimension of us we're just so insignificant will also disappear like them. This impermanence. And this impermanence, the change that you see over the span of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 100 years, 1,000 years is possible only if the change is happening on the yearly basis, which in turn is possible only if the change is happening on the monthly basis, weekly basis, daily basis, hourly basis, minute by minute basis, second by second basis, and a millisecond by millisecond basis. Okay, now just trying to reduce the span of the existence of things, the change that you see, reducing them on the more and more minute level. Gradually we begin to feel the impermanence. If we meditate on this for extended period of time, a few months, a few weeks, you will start to get this feeling, experiential feeling of the impermanence, the transitoriness, how your timer works, how your stopwatch works, so digits move so fast. And those of you who have not looked at it, experimented it, you must do this after the prayer session. You must do that. Seeing is believing is very powerful lesson, powerful teaching for us to see that digits are moving so fast. This is how our body is changing, how your near and dear ones are changing, the world is changing, the things around you are changing so fast. There's nothing which is a composite phenomena not following through this principle of the transitoriness, momentariness, so fast. It's very scary though. Yes. Why you feel the fear? It's like being thrown into a very fast moving train. Faster the train moves, more the fear. Not knowing where this train is taking us. Who decides? The train driver decides. If the train driver is your mom or your dad, no doubt it'll take you to a picnic spot. But unfortunately, if it is under the dictate of the terrorists, it only take us to the slaughterhouse. In our case, our mind is a driver, momentarily changing. What the result is going to be like is determined by the cause, and the second moment is determined by the first moment, and the result is determined by the cause. So in our case, the mind is the driver, and in the mind, unfortunately, that is under the dictate of the worst of the contaminations, which is self-grasping ignorance. And this self-grasping ignorance, complemented by self-centered attitude, it then takes us to the miseries. This is what the Buddha indicated as all contaminated things are of suffering nature. And suffering like what? Three kinds of suffering. Suffering which is so imminent, so immediate, acutely sharp and painful, we cannot tolerate it. A suffering of change, extremely vicious, extremely cunning experience which trap us, which deceive us to get continually getting trapped in samsara, not allowing us to get a time to think of how to get out of samsara, being lashed on, being glued to this mundane happiness and pervasive condition suffering. The mastermind of all these sufferings, and which is the worst. Beginners will see the suffering. Suffering is the worst. And slightly more matured, suffering change. And most matured beings, the suffering. The pervasive condition suffering as the worst. Okay, yes, it's very painful. It's acutely painful to think of all these three layers of suffering. Is there a way out? 2025 stopped on its own. When will these miseries stop? When will that day come where all our miseries are stopped? It'll never come until we put a conscious effort. Impermanence is while it is a standard way to classify the impermanence into two categories. We can also classify the impermanence into three categories. impermanent phenomena whose continuum invariably terminates, like 2025, your youth, and so forth. Second class of impermanent phenomena whose continuum never terminates, like your mind, like time, and so forth. Third class of impermanent phenomena whose continuum never terminates unless and until you put a conscious effort. If you put conscious effort, yes, it can terminate, but without conscious effort, it will never terminate on its own. For example, like miseries, the painful tears of samsara, sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, and the fears, all associated pains, acute pains associated with the pain of losing the dear ones and so forth. Okay, that's indeed very, very, very exhausting, very tiring to think of this, they're having to shed tears incessantly. So what kind of conscious effort is required? Effort to stop the root of the miseries. Unless you identify the root, no point. It's going to be all just symptomatic treatment. And what's the root? Root is ignorance. And stop this, how to stop this root? How to stop this ignorance? By introducing the counterforce. What is that? The wisdom. Wisdom to see the reality. What is the wisdom? Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the objectivities for the reality. And what's the reality? The reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal. Everything is of nature, emptiness, and selflessness. What does it mean by that? That nothing is objective real. Everything is empty of objective reality, emptiness. Selflessness, everything is empty of the selfhood, intrinsic selfhood, objective selfhood. Okay, which means that everything is subjective. Yes, everything is subjective. Everything exists, but it exists only subjectively. Everything is empty of objective reality. All along, since time immemorial till today, we've been seeing everything is perceived as intrinsically real, objective real. And not only that, we believe, we apprehend all this is objective real. This is the self-grasping ignorance. Now, how to remove this? How to remove this is by revolutionizing our thinking from seeing things subjective real to seeing things as subjective real, only subjective, like a dream, where the Buddha taught everything is like a dream. The Buddha taught in the King of the Samadhi Sutra. Just as in the dream of a young girl, she met with a boy and saw his death. Joyous was she at the meeting, and despair over his death. View all phenomena as thus. To view all is like a dream. The moment you discover everything is like dream, you discover that if it's empty of objective reality, all like dream, they're all subjective. And for that you have to wake up. It happens only when you wake up. And what's the outcome? Outcome is all your fears dissolve. This is what the Buddha indicated as transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Stay in this experience for a while, where all your sorrows are transcended by realizing that everything is like a dream in a waking state. You realize everything is like a dream. Everything is purely subjective, empty of objective reality. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay, now we'll slowly switch to the Bodhicitta part. Okay, a few seconds. Take a short break. Okay, ready? For the Bodhicitta, we will do the 4 immeasurables. And maybe today we'll do the first 2 immeasurables. So here, I already warned this before, that oftentimes people say that this practice is so superficial, it doesn't really resonate with one's mind thinking, with one's own thinking. That we say that I take the responsibility of taking the miseries of all others on myself. No, my mind doesn't resonate with that. Yes, therefore we require practice. Just imagine I practice music. practicing keyboard, and you keep mimicking the teachers as to which keys to press. You do that, no music, only noise comes out. It doesn't resonate with the beautiful music which your teacher is able to perform. But keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and gradually this noise will transform into a beautiful music. It's all because of the constant, the practice. This is known as the training. So likewise, we keep doing this practice over and over again, and then gradually the beautiful mind of Bodhicitta, the beautiful mind of compassion, beautiful mind of loving kindness can be generated. So with this mind, just try to follow the instructions for the time being. Don't try to tally what you have, what you are hearing now, whenever you've studied before, what you've heard from others, what you've read. If you want to tally, you can tally. You can tally later on, not now. Now, at this moment, we take the opportunity to just invoke the experience to the best we can. Even if nothing happens on the level of experience, don't worry. This is the practice we're doing. This is known as a practice. Ready? Immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. Causes of suffering primarily consisting of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude, offshoots of which are the inappropriate attention, afflictions, contaminant karmas, and all the miseries. May all my dear mother sentient beings be freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. The Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, like the mother after all these many years of raising children, today the eldest daughter is just age 12 and the eldest son age 11. Two of them come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mom, please take rest. You have done everything for us. We're already grown up. We'll take care of all the siblings and we'll also take care of your mom." The mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears. After all these many years of hardships, today she is hearing something so pleasant from the most affectionate daughter and a son. This is exactly what happens to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They feel so proud of you to see that you are taking the responsibility of freeing all the beings from the suffering and the cause of the sufferings. And this joy and happiness Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel invoke their compassionate minds to send forth nectars of very soothing lights to pursue and all Tibetan sentient beings. Their mere touch of lesser nectars with the bodies beings yours washes up all the miseries and causes the miseries from the minds of sentient beings to yourself. And you witnessing what is happening to all the Tibetan sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Causes of happiness primarily consisting of the most beautiful mind of bodhicitta and the most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddha's Bodhisattvas will sing that we make such a courageous commitment, the intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to send forth nectars of very soothing lights to pursue in all Tibetan sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars for the Buddha's beings yours instills in all happiness and the causes of happiness in the minds of sentient beings in yourself. And you're witnessing what is happening to all the Tibetan sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with the relief. Underscore all the four immeasurables, this unconditional love towards all the beings. Just feel that. Abide in this experience for a while. To the extent that all the demonstration beings, they feel so confident and so loved, so embraced by you under the gaze of the very compassionate eyes. With folded hands, we'll make a bodhisattva commitment based on the incredible feeling of the affection and closeness that you have built with all the demonstration beings. Okay, wholeheartedly let us say this with wholeheartedly contemplating on what we are saying of the bodhicitta aspiration. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Abide in this most beautiful mind of the bodhicitta that you generated for the benefit of all sentient beings. And this bodhicitta guarantees that you will eventually become the omniscient one, omnipotent and omnipresent. That you will benefit all the beings simultaneously, the way the Buddha Shakyamuni did. While the Buddha Shakyamuni is giving teachings, and the Rajgir, vulture speak, giving teachings Heart Sutra simultaneously in South India, but manifested in the form of Shri Kala Chakra, give teachings on Shri Kala Chakra. Two things happen simultaneously, infinite things happen simultaneously, the infinite benefits rendered to all the beings simultaneously. This is what you will become when you become this so precious. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of bodhicitta into spotlessly clean, Montesque, horizontally sitting on the heart. Okay, now imagine that you have generated, you are made, this is amazing. But remember, no matter how much you make this commitment, but no matter how much you squeeze the handful of sand, no oil comes out. I know that. I am not like a handful of sand, I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing which oil does come out. I have the Buddha nature within me. If this were the case, why not? How come that it is not activated, is not manifested since primordially till today? Yes, it's all because that I'm deceived with the two demons, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude, giving me the impression that they are the best of my friends as protectors. And today I'm disillusioned by these two demons. These two are not my friends anymore. These two are the worst of the enemies. And I'm going to exterminate these two at all cost, so that all the mental defilements, afflictive obscurations, and the cognitive obscurations all will be eradicated, and Buddha nature inside, the gold-colored Buddha nature inside, will manifest with a full glow to the lights of benefit enter to all the sentient beings. What would you do to do that, to make it happen? I resort to a very powerful remedy to overcome the self-grasping and self-centered attitude. What is that remedy? The wisdom of emptiness. Okay. The way, the manner in which you wake up to discover that the dream is just a dream, empty of the objective, substantial reality. Just imagine that you manifest what the Buddha actually taught us, that not only the conventional dream, everything is like a dream. Wow, this is amazing. If I discover everything like a dream, imagine that you discover everything like a dream. It happens only when you wake up from the unconventional samsaric dream, samsaric ignorance. So there all the miseries are transcended. Yes, just imagine that everything is like a dream, empty of objective reality. Stay in this experience for a while. Maybe in a day or two time, we will study what emptiness is. Then we can properly meditate on, and instead of just visualizing or imagining. Okay, now slowly transform this wisdom to realize that nothing exists that everything is empty of objective emptiness of object reality. Slowly transform this incredibly fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean thumb-sized white Vajra, vertically sitting on the moon-discovered heart. Meanwhile, don't forget that all your two parents, your family members, including children, and all the sentient beings they are suffering terribly badly in the war zones. Some are going through the miseries, acute miseries, and some are going to some are creating the new chapters, opening new chapters of miseries by inflicting pains on others. So this compassion that you feel towards all the beings, be it the victims or be it the perpetrators, this compassion invokes your Vajramoon to multiply infinite number of times. Share one side of the Vajramoon at the heart of your mother, one side with your father at his heart, one side with each of the family members and children, one with each of the beings here in Tosamling Nunnery Institute, one with each of the beings here in India, in your own country, and in the minds of every creature, trillions of trillions of creatures in the vast oceans, in the wilderness, in the forest, in the Milky Way galaxy, and the entire the universe. Every creature, every sentient being has a share of the Vajramoon. They got the share of the Vajramoon from you. Meanwhile, let's not forget all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. Why not we request? We request the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to be the witness to our undertaking the ceremony of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. As a gesture making the request, let us slowly stand up, along with all the sentient beings, to make 3 prostrations to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Okay, just see if you can sit on your right knees. If you have knee replacement surgery done or you have knee problem and so forth, then you're exempted. You can sit in a position whichever is more comfortable. Otherwise, we try sitting on your right knees for the time being. And meanwhile, if you start to feel the pain, then you can sit because it'll take a few minutes. Then you can sit in the position which is most comfortable to you. Okay, page 49. Okay, since that already I explained the first verse and the last 2 verses earlier, so let's wholeheartedly try to contemplate on the meanings, because only when the meanings are reflected, then the benefit, actually you can see the expansion of your heart, your compassion growing. Of course, not day by day, but within the span of a few years' time, you see that extremely beautiful amount of compassion is seen expanding within us. So that happens only through the practice, and these practices will be of greatly of benefit. So just imagine that you are a very young girl, age 4 or 5, or age 4 or 5 boy, And today you are, for the first time in your life, you are making a public appearance on behalf of your school. And just imagine how your parents, what will they do? They will leave behind whatever they have to do that day to join you, to give you moral support. And they're joining the audience, wave their hands to you, telling you that we are all here, we're so proud for you. This is exactly what all Buddhist Bodhisattvas are doing today. You made the request, and to be the guest and the witness, and they readily accepted this with so much of joy and happiness, excitement. They're all with us. And you, although you're a very little girl, little boy, but you are extremely responsible child, you bring along with you all your siblings to give them also the opportunity to be a part of this program. So likewise, you are, in a similar way, you are actually bringing all the dear sentient beings like your siblings to join in this, take the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, to inculcate all the rich virtues, so that all the beings can have the maximum, the happiness in great abundance, and the miseries drop to zero. So with this mind, imagine that you lead this practice, and all beings, as you have included, they are joining us, and as Buddhist Bodhisattvas you requested, they are actually there with us, presiding over the program, and taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. So wholeheartedly try to contemplate the meanings as much as you can. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of bodhicitta to resolutely accomplish the aims of others myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, I invite all sentient beings to be my guest and shall engage in the appealing deeds of excellence of enlightenment. May I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of bodhicitta to resolutely accomplish the aims of others myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, I invite all sentient beings to be my guests and shall engage in the appealing deeds of the excellence of enlightenment. May I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of bodhicitta to resolutely accomplish the aims of others myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, I invite all sentient beings to be my guests and shall engage in the appealing deeds of the excellence of enlightenment. May I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. The next two verses. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please behave to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and Lama shall too successfully train in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please behave to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and Lama shall too successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please behave to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and Lama shall too successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices. Feel the joy of having received the Bodhisattva vow, and you're extremely, extremely meritorious. And the Buddhas Bodhisattvas, like the mother after all these many years of hearing complaints from the school principal, today again the mother sees the school principal coming to the mother, escorted by the principal, escorted by the teachers. Again the mother is very apprehensive. What kind of complaints today? School principal said, no, we came here to congratulate you. What for? She could not believe her eyes and ears that your daughter and your son two of them are appointed as the best students of this school for this year. The mother could not believe, she did not expect this much happening all these many years, for the reason that all these years she is only getting complaints over you, the little boy and little girl. And today what she's hearing is so unbelievably pleasant to hear. This is exactly what happens to all the Bodhisattvas. They're feeling so happy today. They only wish that the since time immemorial till today, they only wish that we shun the causal miseries, the negativities, so that we'll be freed from the suffering. On the contrary, we always chase after the causal miseries, and thereby constantly getting inflicted by the acute pains all along. They only wish all these innumerable lifetimes that we embrace the virtues so that we can have abundance of happiness. And on the contrary, we always shun, we always damage the virtues, thereby always remaining deprived of the happiness. And today what you did is something so special, which the Bodhisattvas could not believe that you will ever do this thing, and today you did it. This is amazing. This pride and happiness all the Bodhisattvas feel, invoke the Vajramon that they have in full-fledged form to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend. All these replicas of Vajramon from the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they descend to merge with the one that you have visualized in your heart, thereby become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all the replicas of Vajramon from Buddhist Bodhisattvas, like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one that you have visualized at the heart of your mother, at the heart of father, at the heart of each one of the family members, including children, and each of the beings here in Tursamling, in India, in the world, in the oceans, in the wilderness, in the forests, in the entire Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire universe. Thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. This is amazing. You can't believe what is happening today. And this is, of all the gifts you can offer to the dear sentient beings, and there's nothing greater than this. And today you have gifted them with this greatest gift. Out of all the offerings that you can make to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, the Buddha made it very clear. One moment of generating compassion far excels the gifts of the whole universe filled with gems, diamonds, and so forth, and offered to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. If this were the case, what I mentioned for our having taken the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, this is amazing. This is a wonder happening that we've made the greatest offerings to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. And with your life, there's nothing greater meaning than what you've done today. You've given such a meaning to your life. And all these three wonders are happening because of the blessings and the kindness of all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. As a gesture of thanking all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, once more, let us stand up along with all the sentient beings to make three prostrations. Okay, please sit comfortably. Just repeat this mantra after me 3 times. Om Sarva Yoga Chitam Ubatayami. Om Sarva Yoga Chitam Ubatayami. Om Surade Samayastam O Siddha Vajra Asiyata Sukham Om Surade Samayastam O Siddha Vajra Yata Sukham Om Surati Samayastam Hosi the Vajra Yadasukam. So these mantras, these two mantras, they are to stabilize the express bodhisattva that they've taken. Now, as we said in the early days, particularly yesterday, how to make sure that we don't, we continue to meet with this teaching of the Bodhisattva wisdom of emptiness in future lives as well. So we include this in the form of a very powerful prayer. The last verse of page 50. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Next, to find joy over your practice of bodhicitta and wisdom of emptiness, so that in future lives also, when you hear the word bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness, instantly the joy will be retrieved, and this will make you continue your journey to attain, to uncover the hidden treasure within us, for the benefit of yourself and all other dimension beings. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucid seized and awakened under bodhicitta in this way should highly praise him in the following manner. Today my life has borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I have been born in the family of the Buddha and now one of Buddha's children. Thus whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall I disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. Is inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. Is a supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. Is a tree that shelters all beings wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It is the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions. It is the great sun that finally removes the mist ignorance of the world. It is the quintessential butter from the churn of the mill of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the bounties of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite the world to be my guest at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight. May gods, demigods, and all be joyful. Okay, direction prayer, page 55. In the land encircled by snow mountains, O powerful charities, the Tenzin Gyatso, prayers remain until samsara ends. Just as a brave Manjushri and Samudrabrata too realize things as they are. Also I dedicate all these matters in the best way that I may follow the perfect example. I dedicate all these rules of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appear in 3 times, so that I might perform the noble bodhisattva states. I dedicate the matters thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. Through the force of this merit, never separated from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect view in the 2 stages. Having dispelled all inner and outer obstacles and downfalls, such as poverty, despair, oppression, cruelty, epidemics, and natural disasters due to environmental degradation, may all beings forever enjoy the glory of peace and happiness. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I chant the mantra of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. May I spend day and night carefully reflecting by what means can enhance this teaching, achieve its supremacy here through strenuous efforts over countless eons. From my 2 collections, vast space effort is this practice for a great length of time. May I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Tavgya tu je sha rezo chosh ge ponjomba serge lembo tabo go shage gembo kela oh mone mona yeswaha oh mone maha swam oh mone mona yeswaha oh mone ma yeswam oh mone mahamona yeswam oh mone mahamona yeswam. Okay, 3 processions together.